Fallout 76 can be a pretty intimidating game for new players, as there's so much happening right away, and as soon as you leave Vault 76, you're free to go out and do whatever you want. So in this video, I will be going over some of the things that you should be doing first when you first start playing Fallout 76. But before this video starts, if you're a fan of the Fallout games and the Fallout TV show, click the link in the pinned comment of this video to join my Fallout Discord server, where you can find other people to play Fallout 76 with, discuss the Fallout TV show, or just talk about anything related to Fallout. And by the way, if you're a new Fallout 76 player, make sure you check out my channel after this video, as I have a bunch of videos that are tailored towards new players, to help them understand the things that they should be focused on doing in Fallout 76. Now, the first thing that you'll want to do when you first start playing the game is enable pacifist mode. Fallout 76 does have the option to do light PvP, but since its release, it's been clear that the people who are playing Fallout 76 don't really want PvP, so PvP has become less of a focus for the game. If you're someone that doesn't want to be involved in PvP, and you don't want to accidentally shoot somebody, or if you don't want to be shot by another player, you will want to open up your settings and then go to the game menu, and then turn on pacifist mode. With this setting turned on, you won't be able to hurt other players and they can't hurt you, but you can turn this off and on whenever you want. The next thing that you'll want to start doing when you first start in Fallout 76 is follow the main quest line. This will be started when you leave Vault 76 and talk to the Mr. Handy robot outside of the vault, who will then direct you to talk to the two nearby humans. When you talk to them, they will tell you about looking for a treasure, and then tell you to go to the Wayward Bar. This will start a quest called Wayward Souls, which will be the start of the main storyline. Then from here, just follow this questline, which will take you all over the map. As you go through it, new questlines and side quests will pop up, and you can do them if you feel like it, but the important one is the main questline, because completing it will unlock access to a lot of the features in the game, like nukes, the gold bullion vendors, and factions. There is actually a lot of things locked behind the main storyline, so it's important that you're working on it as often as you can. The next thing that you'll want to do is reach some specific points of interest. There are many different locations in Fallout 76. Some of them will be random points of interest that you can go to find loot, and others will be major player hubs, which will be places that you'll want to go to often, as they hold some form of utility. The first one is the White Spring Resort, which will be right here on your map. Not only will you find daily quests and high quality loot here, but you'll also find every crafting station, every storage container, and vendors in the White Spring Mall, which will be underneath the resort. This is a place that most players will frequently visit every time they play the game. The next place will be the Rusty Pick, which will be right here on your map. This is where you'll go to get and spend legendary scrip. The vendor here will let you spend legendary scrip on legendary loot boxes, which will give you random legendary items. And the last two locations are Foundation and Crater. These are small towns that were built for the two major factions of the game. The Crater is for the Raiders, and Foundation is for the Settlers. In these towns, you'll find quests and vendors related to the faction that own the town. These places will become more and more important as you work through the main storyline and after the story is finished. But these four locations will be very important places throughout the game, so you'll want to get to them as soon as you can to be able to fast travel to them whenever you want. But you don't need to physically walk all the way to each of these locations. If you haven't been to them yet, you won't be able to directly fast travel to them, but you can open up your map and then look for these white symbols on the map near one of those locations. These will be the camps of other players. You can then fast travel to the closest camp to one of these locations, then walk the rest of the way, which will save you a lot of time. But speaking of other players' camps, you'll also want to establish your own camp as soon as you can. To do this, just look for an area of the map that you like, then open up your Pip-Boy and hit the Move Camp button that will be right here. Then you can place your camp anywhere that you want to claim that section of land. You can then build anything you want inside of that area. But you'll want to build a little base with any of the crafting stations that you want and a stash box. The stash box will be where you can safely store your items. Whatever you put in that stash box will remain there until you pull it out, and other players will not be able to access it. But the stash boxes in Fallout 76 are shared between every stash box in the game. So that means you can put your item into a stash box at your camp, then later you can pull it out at the same stash box, or the stash box at any of the player hub locations that we just talked about, or you can pull it out of the stash boxes at other players' camps. Other players will not be able to see what's in your stash box and they won't be able to touch any of your items, but you can access your items from any stash box in the game. Another big thing to build at your camp is a vending machine. These will let you sell your items to other players for caps. The next thing that you'll want to prioritize doing is reaching level 50. There isn't really a level cap in Fallout 76, and leveling will happen very quickly, especially if you're doing the main storyline and public events when they happen, which you should always be doing when you first start because they're a good source of legendary items and experience. But the reason that reaching level 50 is important is because at level 50, you will always get the highest level versions of the items that you find. So to explain this as simply as possible, let's say you're level 5 and you find a sniper rifle. You will find the level 5 version of that sniper rifle which will have stats on it that would be fit for a level 5 player. But if you found that same sniper rifle at level 50, you would get the level 50 version of it, which would be much stronger. This is the case for every weapon and piece of armor and power armor in the game, including unique weapons and armor. The level on weapons and armor won't go past level 50, so before you go out and try to collect the best stuff in the game, you'll want to reach level 50 first. But that will lead us into the next thing that you'll want to do, which will be collecting perk coins. Every time that you level up, you will get perk cards. These will be used to create your build. All of them are great options and they will each do unique things, but you will get many copies of the same card, and eventually you'll end up with max rank versions of those cards. But as you level up, starting at level 50, you'll unlock legendary perk cards, which are much stronger, but to rank them up you'll need perk coins. And you'll get those from scrapping your unwanted perk cards. Now at first you may have thought that this was a bad idea because you don't know which perk cards you'll need in the future, so you'll end up hoarding a lot of them. But leveling up is very easy in this game, and after a certain point you'll be able to just pick whatever perk card you need to unlock it right away. So you'll be wanting to scrap your unwanted perk cards early on to save up perk coins to use to upgrade your legendary perk cards, as it will get expensive. A problem that many new players have at the start of the game is their carry weight. Oftentimes new players and even veteran players will be walking around over encumbered. But there's an easy way to solve this problem at as early as level 25. You will just need to head over to the Garahan mining headquarters location, which will be right here on your map. In the parking lot of this location, you'll want to look for this poster that you can read. Reading this poster will start the Miner Miracle side quest, which will take you into the mining headquarters. Inside of the mining headquarters location, you'll just have to interact with 2 terminals, and that quest will guide you to them. But on the second terminal, you'll be able to learn all of the crafting plans for a full set of excavator power armor, which you will then want to build. The reason that you'll want to do this is because if you're wearing a full set of excavator power armor, it will increase your carry weight by 100 pounds. Then you can go and talk to the responders vendor in the White Spring Mall, and purchase the crafting plans for the excavator calibrated shocks mod. You can build these and put them on each of the legs of the excavator power armor, and each one that you use will increase your carry weight by 50, which means that if you're wearing a full set of excavator power armor, with the calibrated shocks mod on each leg, you will increase your carry weight by 200 pounds. Another thing that you'll want to start doing as soon as you start the game is doing the right thing with the legendary items that you find while playing the game. You will get a lot of legendary items in Fallout 76. They are constantly being thrown at you, but they may not be ones that you want or need, so you may end up selling them or just dropping them. But what you should really be doing with these is scrapping them at any workbench. The reason that you'll want to do this instead of selling them is because one of the big parts of the endgame is crafting and modding legendary items to fit them into your build, just to be able to keep up with the evolving meta. When you scrap a legendary item, this menu will pop up, and it will tell you the materials that you will get for scrapping this item, but it will also tell you which legendary mods you can receive or learn how to make. These will come from the legendary mods that are already on the item that you're scrapping. So for example, if you scrap a legendary item with the Furious mod on it, you will have a chance to either get a pre-crafted Furious mod that you can put onto another weapon or piece of armor, or you can learn how to make Furious mods and then make as many of them as you want forever. If you go to a Tinker's Bench, you can find a list of legendary mods that you have already learned how to craft. Or you can hit the button that says Show Unlockable to see the list of mods that you still need to learn. This is usually a much better thing to do with your legendary items than sell them or turn them into legendary scrip. I didn't know about this when I first started playing Fallout 76, and once I got to the point of making my own builds, I quickly regretted selling all of my unwanted legendary items. So scrapping all of your unwanted legendaries is something that you'll want to start doing as soon as you start playing. The next thing that you'll want to do as soon as you can is head over to the Fisherman's Rest. Many new players won't know this, but you can actually fish in Fallout 76 to get some really good rewards. But to unlock the ability to fish, you will first need to go to the Fisherman's Rest location and talk to Captain Raymond Clark, who will give you an introduction to fishing and give you your first fishing rod and some bait. And then after this, you can go and fish wherever and whenever you want, and you can work on the fishing questline to upgrade your fishing rod. And the final thing that you'll want to do as soon as you start playing Fallout 76 is unlocking and doing expeditions. To unlock expeditions, you'll need to go to the White Spring Refuge, which will be on the top floor of the White Spring Resort. When you get here, talk to Orlando, who will be near the main entrance. This will start a short questline to help the 3 leaders of the responders, but this is not a long questline and it can be finished pretty quickly. But once you're done with it, you'll unlock access to expeditions. Expeditions are a great source of ammo, legendary items, and experience, and you can also get some rare plants from them. But you will also earn a currency called stamps from completing expeditions, which you can then spend at the vendor Giuseppe at the White Spring Refuge to buy powerful items like the auto axe and the cold shoulder shotgun, and the Union power armor, which is considered to be one of the best power armors in the game. These are all very good items, so you'll want to unlock expeditions as soon as you can and do as many of them as possible to get stamps to buy those items. And those are 10 things that you should be doing first in Fallout 76. But if you have any other tips for new players, leave them in the comments below. I hope this video has helped you and thank you for watching.